Welcome to Mindful Life 141. I am your host, Nathan Springer. Thank you for being here. I'm streaming right now live over on TikTok and on Instagram, and right now on YouTube also. If you're streaming this over on TikTok or Instagram, you can feel free to head over to YouTube. Not necessarily right now, but at any point in time in the future, and subscribe to my channel there, Nathan Springer over there. The benefit of watching the live over there versus here is that you get to actually, when I'm reading the articles or looking at a video or picture, whatever I'm talking about, you could actually see it scrolling behind me there. You get to see the chats, etc. scrolling there. So there are some benefits to that, viewing the live over on YouTube. And we are on Mindful Live 141, so you get the understanding there are 140 other lives out there. They are over there on my YouTube channel. Feel free to head over and see what we talk about. Lots of news articles, lots of information, lots of creative, interesting tidbits around the world we spoke about before, if you feel so interested. And I also produce YouTube videos otherwise too, if you are interested in that. If you're looking at this, hit that like button, please. It would be much appreciated if you do hit that like button. And if you're looking at this on YouTube on the repeat, drop a comment. It does help. All right. We're talking Haiti. Good night to you. First time on your live. Good topic. Thank you, Octavian Noel. Thank you. Much appreciated. Join us. We're here basically usually every night. Sometimes things happen and I may not be here, but pretty much every night I'm here around 9:15. Jump in. What that tells you about standing up for the right things. Haiti will continue to suffer while that I haven't seen yet what you're going to say otherwise. But yeah, that different cultures for that. Our culture in Trinidad and Tobago, we got our independence basically gifted to us, which is okay. But Haiti fought for theirs. That is interesting. And I don't think that is a separate point from why Haiti finds themselves in the position they find themselves in. They were one of the few places that staged a successful slave rebellion, and then the former slaves took over the colony. Whew, that's not something that regularly happens. Anyway, due to all of that happening coming down the line, we're here right now in the year of our Lord 2022, and Haiti still is in some bit of trouble. It's difficult time over there in Haiti. It's a difficult time. That tells you a lot. Yes, it might. It might. I'm not sure what exactly it might tell you, but it might tell you a lot. And Haiti, one of the major problems Haiti is facing right now is a problem with gangs. Similar to here. But, when I think about it, Haiti's colonizers were the French. Blessings, Megzi. Haiti's colonizers were the French. And if you look at the history of the French, I mean, we in the live here spoke about the French Revolution last week or earlier this week, was that? I'm not sure. I can't remember detailed. But we spoke at length about the French Revolution. And you look at the violence and capability of the French Revolution. And, people talk about the French culture. And it's kind of still like that, where in France, they aren't afraid to hit the streets and protest and make noise for what they want. And maybe there's a French side to that too, because Haiti is a French-speaking island still, and they were formerly a French colony. So maybe there is some of that history woven in there too. But it's interesting. The gangs over there in Haiti aren't the same thing like the gangs down here. Those gangs are looking to make themselves powerful. They're looking to get into positions of power. They're not just looking to be normal hoodlum street gangs and harass people out there. No. They have bigger dreams than that. And they've been going about with that for some time now. And there have been calls coming up because the gangs are becoming out of control in Haiti. Haiti is already suffering with poverty. The police don't have enough resources to take care of what they have to take care of. And the gangs are making lots of money on the black market. Enrique says, why sort could tint their exhale? Enrique, let me see what's that. What's the name I'm accustomed to? Jeremy Francis. Right, right, right. Over here, my TikTok upgraded and the names are a little different. Good night, Midas. Been a while. Sir, I do not know anything about SORT and those specialty police services. That's a question I always ask. Also, I would like to know how come I could tell all police vehicles by the tint. And I'm not talking about marked police vehicles or unmarked police vehicles as in registered to the TTPS. I'm talking about registered to a constable of the TTPS. Once a person is an officer in Trinidad and Tobago, you know their vehicle. Anyway, I don't know, sir. But Haiti is in a difficult position and calls are being made to find a way for solution to happen inside of this. One of the calls is for troops, foreign troops to touch down in Haiti. And many people are very much, very much, very much. Oh, well, I didn't see you yesterday. Sorry, my bad. I'm very, very much against that foreign troops in Haiti business because it's not the first time that foreign troops would have gone to Haiti to help them. In fact, it wouldn't be the second time. In fact, it wouldn't be the third. In fact, it wouldn't be the fourth. It's been numerous times that foreign troops have put boots on the ground in Haiti to help them. And pretty much every single time, help might be a stretch if you're considering that what they did. All right. Let's start some of these articles. Calls for calm. This is an article from St. Lucia Times way back since last month, September. Calls for calm after days of anti-government violence in Haiti. Senior leaders have called for calm day after days of anti-government violence. Haiti's Justice Minister Berto Dorsey vowed to identify and punish those behind attacks on property. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is deeply concerned about the unrest. Protesters are demanding the resignation of Prime Minister Ariel Henry after an end to government fuel subsidies caused petrol and diesel prices to skyrocket. Now, this is very interesting. I did a previous video, one of the videos I did before was on fuel prices around the Caribbean. And I think I extrapolated that to around the world. And what we found back then was one of the lowest fuel prices in the world was Haiti, because the government, although the government of Haiti is suffering for resources, they were subsidizing fuel. Now, that is actually kind of understandable because the people in Haiti don't have that many resources. So if they had to pay for these energy resources on a global market, they very likely would not be able to afford it. So the government was subsidizing it. Now this new prime minister came in and he attempted to remove that. Well, he's attempting to remove that subsidy. Good night, Chels. To remove that subsidy, and well, the people are saying no, we cannot take that. Isn't that a similar story? Now, I don't think that we are in the same position as them when it comes to the fuel prices, but it tells a story. If you all are hearing the occasional explosion, no, I am not under fire. It is, what are we? Thursday. It is currently, 4 days before Diwali, and the youth men of my community have brought out their severed lengths of bamboos and purchased quite a bit of kerosene and are making explosions. So yeah, if you're hearing that noise, that's what they're doing. Subsidies are always ways for corruption. Not always, but not always, but very often. The latest demonstrations come as inflation has risen to its highest level in a decade. 40% of the country is relying on food assistance to survive. Wow. 40% of the country, Haiti, is relying on food assistance to survive. That's a lot of people. And chronic gang violence has left hundreds dead and thousands displaced. Now, something interesting when you look at nearly every country like this, nearly every country like Haiti, countries where people are dirt poor, as they say, one of the strangest things is there are always extremely wealthy people there, you know. Within Haiti, within the borders of Haiti right now, there are very wealthy people. The problem very often isn't just a matter of not enough resources, but the resources aren't exactly being shared around as they should. Now, I've said this in numerous videos, in numerous live videos, and in numerous versions of my general content. I've said this: one of the top predictors of crime in terms of statistics, statistically, one of the top predictors of crime is something called the Gini coefficient. Now, what the Gini coefficient actually predicts is the difference in wealth levels, the relative poverty in terms of how much that guy has compared to how much this guy has. And what people realize is the more wealth inequality there is, the more crime increases. And that is not exactly surprising now, is it? If I am living in a place where I am dirt poor, I am struggling to live, 40% of the population needs outside help from someone, the government, the state, donations from foreign, however. I need outside resources for me to live. 40% of the population. Now, if I am part of that 40% and someone decides, hey, let's form a gang and look at that guy who is hoarding most of our resources and let's go do something about it, it becomes a very tempting offer. And that's how wealth inequality increases. Generally speaking, increases the occurrence of crime in a society. Now, that's exactly what's happening in Haiti. The gangs are on the upward movement in Haiti. And it seems like the protective services don't have the ability to stop them. There were reports of violent clashes, including protesters throwing stones and shots being fired. Now, moving on to October 20th, today, that was last month, CARICOM leaders, Canada's PM, discussed Haiti's crisis. President Dr. Irfan Ali and other CARICOM leaders met virtually with Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to discuss the crisis in Haiti on Wednesday night. The president was joined, and this is an article from a Guyanese newspaper. If you find it sounding like from a Guyanese perspective, well, yes, it is. The president was joined by Foreign Secretary Robert Poussard. The French Creole-speaking Caribbean nation has been affected by gang violence and several social issues that have paralyzed the country. The humanitarian crisis is immense now, and we are ready to fully support them, President Ali said to the journalists that were there. According to the Miami Herald, the U.S. and Canada provided material support to Haiti as recent as Saturday to help police fight a powerful gang amid a pending request from the Haitian government for the immediate deployment of foreign troops. CARICOM has consistently offered support to sister country Haiti to improve governance and restore peace. The security and humanitarian crises in Haiti have worsened over the years due in part to the government's reduced support for fuel subsidies. With the rise of gang-related violence, the Haitian Council of Ministers has instructed the country's Prime Minister to plead with the international community for support. So the Haitian Prime Minister is the one that is actually requesting Chels, it's not you alone. Nearly every time I hear about what's going on in Haiti, I get pretty anti-French myself too. Because a lot of that, well, not a lot of that, the root cause of some of the difficulty would have come from the fact that after they won their independence, France said, well, you have to pay us back for all of this, and put them under a brutal payback regime that basically stymied any progress the country could make as a beginning country. So just as they're born as a country, all of their resources are being basically stolen from them. And after France finished with it, then the US started with it, and it's been a trip. Nations consider sending troops to Haiti despite troubled past foreign intervention. The United Nations Security Council is considering an international intervention in Haiti to open up aid corridors and resolve what the UN Secretary General calls an absolutely nightmare situation. Armed gangs have blocked the main fuel terminal in the capital since last month and severed access to aid routes. So part of the problem they are facing now in Haiti is these gangs aren't just doing gang stuff. They aren't just out there selling drugs on a corner and fighting for gang turf or drug turf. They are looking to make nearly political moves. They're looking nearly to seize parts of the island. Now, an armed gang, what you consider an armed gang is a very interesting thing. It just basically has to do with who has the legal authority. Whoever is leading the country is allowed an armed gang, basically. If you're the leader, you're allowed to have an armed gang. Now, it's so strange. I could have an armed gang today, and if somehow I successfully take over this territory, what yesterday may have been an armed gang, today might be a peacekeeping force, a police service, or something of the like, which is very interesting. And that might be the direction that some of these gangs are heading, because Haiti seems so out of control. It might actually be rewarding for some of these gangs to claim piece of the territory as their own. You know what? Let's claim this. Oh, you have a port here. I'm going to blockade this port and everything coming in there. I'm going to get a piece of that. As I said, the reason for their suffering is because they fought for their independence. Now, the thing is, I understand that the cruelty they faced as a burgeoning republic was a lot to do with it. Well, now they don't have a legitimate government since the president was assassinated. Yes, that's part of it too. But they have a prime minister right now. They have a prime minister, but they want him gone. Just by the way. And the prime minister who is serving right now was under suspicion of being involved in the assassination of the previous president. So Haiti, that's years ago, that gave Haiti a bad starting point. And okay, Haiti is still doing bad all on their own. A lot of the people in Haiti are doing bad all on their own. You know, watching what happens in Haiti, I remember there's an article I read recently where they spoke about the idea that poverty causes crime, and they flipped it around, and they spoke about statistically, when you look at certain studies and you look at the timing of certain things, it might be more accurate to say that crime causes poverty. And it might be there might be an argument that Haiti's difficulty in finding stable governance created the reality where the criminal underworld didn't have to be that underneath. And with the explosion of crime in a country like that, poverty comes very soon after. If you're anywhere in the middle, upper middle, even working class, where you could scrape some money and leave, you're leaving Haiti. The people that would stay there very likely might be those who might be wealthy enough to afford private security and their own palace with armed guards, so they don't mind. But if you're the average person, you're not trying to be there. And the crime then would link directly to a brain drain. And that brain drain would link directly to poverty. And it would lead to a cycle of poverty. Because not only do you have poverty of money, you have poverty of your intelligentsia, the educated people in your country, the people who might have ambition and goals. They leave. So you have all different kinds of poverty going on there. A hard thing to remedy from. Nearly half the population faces acute hunger, and now the country faces an outbreak of cholera. In response to this spiraling crisis, Henry has asked the international community to intervene with a specialized armed force. But the request has been met with horror by many in Haiti who are more than familiar with the checkered history of foreign intervention and occupation. Now, let's go down history lane. let's go down history's lane. The long legacy of occupation in history. This is an article out from the New Yorker. This article was since 2015. So it's not even dealing directly with this new attempt by the US to say, they're going to send troops there to really help. I'm writing this in Lekai, Haiti, where one of the worst massacres of civilians took place on December 6th, 1929, during the 19-year American occupation of Haiti, an occupation that began 100 years ago today. The Case massacre took place during a demonstration which was part of a nationwide strike and an ongoing local rebellion. U.S. Marine battalions fired on 1,500 people, wounding 20 and killing 12. Wounding 20 and killing 12. That's when the US came into Haiti in the early 20th century, to lend their peacekeeping help, really help the Haitians. Paused over there for a bit. Really help the Haitians out there. Yeah. That's the last time they did that. That's what happened. On July 28, 1915, United States Marines landed in Haiti on the orders of President Woodrow Wilson, who feared that European interests might reduce American commercial and political influence in Haiti and in the region surrounding the Panama Canal. Now, especially when you read the history of the early 20th century, the whole 20th century, the 19th century, when you read that history and you read the history of the United States, now, I am not particularly just a US hater. I hate America for some reason. No, not really. I understand the context of history. Now, something I really don't like is now lots of the hypocrisy that comes flowing out of American media, where they try to speak like they are above it all. They are the ones that are seeking the best interest of everyone in the world. Russia and their evil President Putin, who started an illegal invasion in Ukraine. Like, which war has ever been legal? What are you even talking about? But they're so horrible. Look how Russia wants to seize control of those countries within their influence, within their sphere of influence. Well, what did the US do to Cuba? What did the US do to Haiti? What did the US do to Dominican Republic? What did the US do to Puerto Rico? Now, I'm starting from the top of the island chain, in case you're not sure about your geography here. I'm starting from the top of the island chain and making my way down. Bahamas. I'm just on the island. We haven't reached there yet. Grenada. Remember, the US touched down in Grenada with troops already too. Just by the way. So, they talk like, the United States is above it all, and okay, Mr. Putin is so wicked and evil and such a strange thing because he wants to control all the countries around their sphere of influence. The United States does the same thing, and they've done it many, many, many times before, long before Putin was even born. So that's what they were doing in Haiti. They were recognizing, wait, we might be losing our slip on Haiti, our control on Haiti here. So here's what we're going to do. The audio here is very distorted, Megzi says, over on Instagram. Well, my apologies over there on Instagram. The part of the problem over there is my battery is dying. So maybe if the audio continues being so horrible, you can head over to TikTok or or YouTube and take it in there, because my battery is a bit low over there on Instagram. May cut off before we finish the entire thing. So yeah, that's what the US did. The precipitating event was, we know, all right. They stayed there basically for 20 years when they landed inside of Haiti. And by 1915, the Americans were also afraid that an ongoing debt Haiti was forced to pay to France tied the country too closely to its former colonizer. Germany's growing commercial interests in Haiti were another major concern. So one of the first actions carried out by the US at the start of the occupation was to move Haiti's financial reserves to the United States and then rewrite its constitution to give foreigners land owning rights. Yes. Mm-hmm. The first thing, oh, all of your money, let's keep it safe over by us. Yes, we'll keep it safe for you by us. And by the way, let's see your constitution. How does it look? Oh, that line, foreigners cannot own land. I don't think that line is benefiting you. I'm going to cross that line out and say foreigners can own land here for your benefit. Of course, it's for your benefit. Right. All right. Let's buy some land. There is a commemorative banner near the site of the 1929 massacre acknowledging the day. Seems reasonable. Something to show that the town remembers, but it is very hard to figure out what to commemorate, what to remember, and what to forget during the 19-year occupation. In my own family, there were many stories. My grandfather was one of the Caicos, or so-called bandits, whom retired American Marines have always written about in their memoirs. They would be called insurgents now, the thousands who fought against the occupation. One of the stories my grandfather's oldest son told him, used to tell, was of watching a group of young Marines kicking around a man's decapitated head in an effort to frighten the rebels in their area. There are many more stories to tell of the Marine boots sounding like Gallipoli fabled three-legged horse, which all children were supposed to fear, of the black face that the Marines wore to blend in and hide from view, of the time U.S. Marines assassinated one of the occupation's most famous fighters, Charlemagne Peralty, and pinned his body to a door where it was left to rot in the sun for days. The glorious United States of America. Their legacy in Haiti. Their legacy in Haiti. Something like that is going to have echoed effects going through time. Something like that isn't just wiped off in soon time. And you know, many of these things, you could wonder why there might be so many insane people that might pick up a gun and run into a place and shoot inside of the United States and stuff. That country might be suffering for some of the, not the country, some of the people in there might be suffering for some of the wrongs done. Because I wonder how many of these Marines who were playing football with someone's head, who pinned a man to a door, how many of them faced legal consequences for it? If they went back home to the United States and kissed their wives and children and hugged them up and took nice family pictures and was celebrated, thank you for your service, sir. Honorable former military man who was out there fighting for the freedom of the free world, the United States. The notion that there were indispensable nation-building benefits to this occupation falls short, especially because the roads, schools, and hospitals that were built during this time relied upon a tyrannical forced labor system, a kind of national chain gang. Call it gunboat diplomacy or a banana war, but this occupation was never meant, as the Americans professed, to spread democracy, especially given that certain democratic freedoms were not even available to the United States' own black citizens at the time. Think of it. N-word, speaking French. Secretary of State William Jennings Bryan said of the Haitians. Enna's speaking French. Enna's in Paris, man. Enna's speaking French. Yep. It's interesting. It's interesting. That's part of the reason I like history. You know? History gives you some insight to a lot of the goings on. During the 19 years of the U.S. occupation, 15,000 Haitians were killed. Any resistance to the centralized U.S.-installed puppet governments were crushed, and a gendarmerie, a combination of army and police modeled after an occupation force, was created to replace the Marines after they left. Although US troops officially pulled out of Haiti in 1934, the United States exerted some control over Haiti's finances until 1947. On May 13, 1916, the United States invaded the Dominican Republic for the first time, annexing the two countries, Haiti and the Dominican Republic, for 8 years between 1916 and 1924. During the 1929 US-guided border negotiations, Haiti lost some land, and many Haitians suddenly found themselves on Dominican soil. That bitter bacchanal has consequence even till now, where there's some bad blood between Haitians and Dominicans, and there are Dominicans who have their heritage as Haitians from since then, and they have several generations in Dominica. And I believe, when was that I was reading this? Was it last year? There was some real confusion over there because the Dominican Republic side did not want to recognize people who had been there for generations as recognized Dominicans because they have that Haitian heritage. And bear in mind, there is a bit of race inside of that. Dominican Republic has that Latina kind of mix more, while the Haitians are much more of the darker African build, usually. Stereotypically, I'm speaking in stereotypes here, generalizing. So that bacchanal the US did way back then still has consequence to now. They drew that border between Haiti and Dominican Republic. Interesting. Going back to the United States, we're back to present time now, talking about what the United States wants to do. The United States and Mexico, now that we have that history in our minds, with that history in our mind, now let's read what the wonderful, glorious United States has proposed. The United States and Mexico have drafted 2 Security Council resolutions now under consideration. One would impose sanctions on armed gangs in Haiti and their supporters. The other proposes a limited, carefully scoped non-UN mission led by a partner country with deep necessary experience required for such an effort to be effective. Now, even when it reaches to the side of the sanctions against the gangs, bear in mind, in the article we just read, the insurgents who were fighting the US occupation back then were called bandits. So, what if some of these gangs are framing themselves as fighting corruption? When you read, there's an article here from Haitian Times where they go through the street and they ask numerous people questions. Now, bear in mind, asking people on the street and writing an article would always be a kind of thing, because you don't know how many people they ask. You don't know which responses they choose to show, but it shows some responses nonetheless. And some people, to some Haitians, another foreign military force would be the greatest humiliation. And to some people, they're saying that the current prime minister is a corrupt man. And they are saying, their allegation is, they are worried that this prime minister is making the call for international military aid so that he can prop himself up in a dictatorial manner. You see, when you have these difficulties in Haiti, here's the thing. I'm talking about this. I'm just talking about the information as I see it. But when you see situations like this, that is a very complex situation that I will not presume to say I could have the answer to. Haiti is a complex thing to try to solve. The prime minister who was elected is currently the substantive political leader of Haiti. But much of the Haitians are saying he's a corrupt man. They want him gone. If much of the Haitians are saying that, and then the international community sends in military help for this man that the Haitians see as a corrupt man, and some of these Haitians that see him as a corrupt man, they may form themselves into armed resistance, so they may be seen as gangs now. So this could be a very plausible fight on the international scene where the legally elected political leader of Haiti is attempting to get rid of gangs, while in Haiti they may see it as the freedom fighters of their country are attempting to get rid of a despotic, cruel dictator. And then the international community is giving him assistance. Yeah. How is that going to work out? How exactly is that going to work out in the long run? And the reason they are talking about this, if you listen to how this is phrased, a limited, carefully scoped, non-UN mission led by a partner country with deep necessary experience required for such an effort to be effective. To at least give them some credit. They aren't speaking like they're oblivious of the fact that everyone knows their history over there in Haiti. They aren't speaking like they're oblivious of that fact. They understand people don't trust them over in Haiti, so they're saying what they want to do is not the UN going there, because the UN admitted, the UN knows, where did they say that? They know that the last time they went in there, they spread cholera. The head of the United Nations Integrated Office in Haiti, Helena Lime, says she supports a Haitian-led political solution, but so far she says that is elusive and on its own is no longer sufficient to address the current crisis. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for armed action to free up the port and to allow for a humanitarian corridor. So what they're saying is the gangs right now are locking down the country. So even the help they want to send in as a humanitarian side, they have to get some armed forces in there to move out the gangs so they could actually get in food to help the people. The UN would not be in the lead, however, given its track record in Haiti. UN peacekeepers brought cholera to the island over a decade ago, causing an outbreak that killed thousands of people. That wasn't even only the horrible part there. Cholera was one of the things they brought. They also left quite a few children. The UN peacekeeping force and many of the other soldiers that landed in Haiti left many single mothers, further impoverishing the country. I did an article on this, I did a video on this a couple months ago. You could go and check it out. There were many single mothers left. Yes, the cholera too, but I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about a social side on this. And in a country that is struggling and is struggling with poverty, what happens when you go and a lot of the young ladies they left with children were very young, some of them even underage? What would happen if you go in there? What would happen if you go in there and leave a generation of young women as single mothers? What would happen in a country already struggling with poverty? And you see, I've spoken to someone who went to Haiti during that specific time. And what he was telling me, a guy I knew, a soldier I knew, and he was telling me that what was happening is a lot of these young girls are literally begging these men. Oh, correct, John Rabi. Or June Rabi, I'm not sure. We're literally begging these men. Some of it would have been assault. Some of it would have been statutory. But some of it was consensual. Some of these young ladies are surviving on $1 a month or something ridiculous like that. If they could beg a foreign soldier for an exchange for $20, That might be more than they would see in a year. So, yeah, they would take that. On their side, I could understand that kind of desperation, but on the other side, that is so evil. But you could understand, as a wayward man, you're in a foreign country, a beautiful young lady comes and she's begging you. It's not my fault she begging me. So the thing is, any military force that you send to that island, are you sure that they would be able to not do things like that? Are you sure that you could send any military force from anywhere in the world into an island like that under those conditions and they won't do the same thing? Are you sure of that? I am not. I am not. Yeah. That's Haiti. And that's the present state they are in. It's tough. It's tough. And yes, a lot of them. A lot of them. And how do you solve something like that? The UN says they want a Haitian-led solution. What does that look like? How do you do that? Do you give military support to Haitians? Which Haitians do you give it to? Because all the Haitians may not be on the same side. Some may argue that the ones that have the most popular support might actually be the worst ones to give it to if you were looking for a solution. Now, Haiti is known, they have their fair share of foreign cruelty. Send only married souls. Come on, True Ninja. You and I, we're big men. We is big men. All are we know that no. Oh, yeah, John Robbie. You'll be waiting for a long time for that. You'll be waiting for a very long time for that. But the solutions for that, yeah, as I was saying, Haiti has suffered from outsiders. For a long time they have suffered from outsiders. But all the suffering of Haiti hasn't been from outsiders. Papa Duck, Baby Duck, dictators inside of Haiti known for their murderous tendencies. They weren't outsiders. They were very much local men. The dictatorships of Haiti, the dictatorships of Haiti are known. So it's an internal problem they have and an external problem. If the outside help is cruel, the inside help. Did I lose connection? Am I back here? Are you all still seeing me? Yeah, are you all still seeing me? What seems to be the problem here? I'm not sure if I'm still picking up. They said I lost connection for a bit there. So yeah, if over on in Haiti, yeah, I'm back. If over there the problems are external and internal, where do the solutions come from? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying it as a matter of note. So we'll be aware of what occurs within our surroundings as being part of the Caribbean here. And interestingly, the US, they're looking to go in there and put a helping hand. We'll see how that goes. Pray for Haiti. The thing is, Trinidad, the gang violence in Trinidad, I mean, it's not Haitian level, but the gang violence in Trinidad seems to be spiking. Is it like 4 or 5 people in the last 2 days or something were murdered? Murders are spiking, and the gang violence is spiking. And the thing is, gangs left unattended tend to go down that road. They would tend to go down that road every time. Go down as far as they could reach. So I wonder how far in Trinidad the gangs would be allowed to reach. All right, folks. My batteries are dying here. I have more articles I could go through, but my batteries are dying over there on Instagram and TikTok. There would not be a solution with USA and France. So who would the solution be with, John Robbie? Who would be able to bring about that solution? I don't know. If it's not the USA and it's not France, who? Now the thing is, you could understand. I could understand trying to get French help because that's the language they speak. Haitians. Which Haitians? Who chooses the Haitians that lead the solution? The Haitians choose the Haitians? Are you saying there should be no outside help at all? That the outsiders, all of us, we just stand back and look at Haiti? Yes, Christian Bidesi, the audio over there on Instagram is horrible. You can jump in over on TikTok or on YouTube. My battery is dying. The audio is horrible. I apologize for that. My feed is frozen. I ended that Instagram feed. Yeah, the batteries were dying. I don't know, True Ninja. The feed, I'm seeing the feed as still being up over there on TikTok. I don't know why your feed is frozen. Could probably rejoin. But yeah, which Haitians are the outsiders? Are we in CARICOM, we the Caribbean neighbors of Haiti? Are we to just look over there at Haiti as spectators, regardless of what happens? Bear in mind, the gangs have locked off their petrol ports. They have locked off their ports for humanitarian aid, and we already pointed out that 40% of their population requires well done, Christian Midesi, well done. That was swift too. And we already established that 40% of Haiti requires humanitarian assistance to live. So a lot of that humanitarian assistance comes from the outside. Are we to just sit back and watch the gangs? Sit back and just watch the gangs take control and split up that with gang warfare? Like, I am not saying I know the solution, I'm just putting it out there. All of the avenues for a way out, all of them seem very murky. We spoke at length about the outside help and how that could mess them up really horribly, but the inside has messed them up too. And nearly anything being done inside would require help from the outside. That's the current prime minister. He is a Haitian, Mr. Ariel Henry, however you want to pronounce it if you're feeling really French. He is a Haitian man. He has been elected to senior political office in Haiti. And as a senior politician in Haiti, he is requesting outside help. Is the world to say no? Is the world to listen to the gangs or the people that he calls gangs? The gangs say that he is corrupt and a dictator. He says they are gangs. Who do you listen to inside of Haiti? They're all Haitians. A lot of politicians are the gangs because Haiti don't make guns and ammunition. Correct. That is true. I don't doubt that. They said that. They said it is known that many of the gangs came to the kind of power they came to because the politicians played buddy-buddy with them. It is alleged. Some of that same thing happens in Trinidad, where politicians and known underworld figures have ongoing relationships for very long time. Now, in Haiti, what eventually happened is you realize that the gangs started getting really strong and out of control. The government could no longer control them. And especially when what happened to their president happened, he was assassinated, everything just kind of went haywire from there. But again, where does the solution come from? Collectively, we can come up with these solutions. Collectively, who is in that collective, Christian Medesi? How many people are in that collective? Is it we CARICOM? Is it we the world? Is it we who? These gangs do not go nor travel and can order nothing from over, but they have big guns. That's not true. Many of those gangs have speedboats. Many of those gangs have foreign contacts. They can transport things. I wouldn't doubt some of them might have a little single engine plane somewhere out in the bush out there in Haiti too. Like even in Trinidad, some people say that these poor black fellas in the hotspots, them can't afford to bring in the guns. It's the big boys bringing in the guns. Now, here's the thing. I don't deny that. I don't deny that big boys do bring in some guns. I read that, John Robbie. I don't know if you know these gangs personally, but I was reading on one of these gangs, and the guy is pretty connected, and it's known that he has means of getting off the island. If you're controlling the petrol, you're actually getting a lot of resources. And a speedboat isn't a very expensive thing to get if you are plugged into the black market. But yeah, in Trinidad, people talk about the big boys bringing in all the guns and da, da, da. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that many big boys are bringing in this stuff. But plenty of these small guys have their own little pirogues. Some of these little small blocks every here and there you're watching these guys. Some of them are running their own thing. That's why it's getting so dangerous out here for these gangs, because the gangs don't have that. They don't have that same structure they once did, where all the money pyramids up to the top. Some of them recognize, wait, so I could get a pirogue and go over to Venezuela and link up with someone on my own, and they're doing just that. So some of these small men, these poor youths, these little black boys, the poor people, some of them are very much capable of doing bad all on their own and of getting these deeper connections to get out there. Ah, good disclaimer there, John Robbie. All right, folks. All right, all right. This is a bit faster than I usually finish, but as I said, the batteries are dying tonight. I didn't get the charging in as I should have. Apologies. But we still got through speaking about Haiti there. I hope you were educated, informed, or entertained. And I will see you for the next Mindful Live, which is going to be tomorrow at around 9:15 p.m. I will be there. I hope to see you guys there too. Hey, Hallie Joseph, what's up? What's up? What's up? I hope to see you guys there too. Until tomorrow, peace, 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 peace. See y'all then. Good night, recreate.